From Wichita Falls to Paris, from Atoka, Oklahoma to the Dallas area, Texoma has a thriving music scene. Revolving around country rock and blues, the singer-songwriters of the Texoma area reach into the outlying geographic enclaves here and there around the country. It's a scene of music that is defined more by geography than it is a sound and encompasses all the facets of the music scene on either side of the border. Denison, Texas is the hub of this music region, and it's music-friendly in so many ways. Long-standing tradition and musical family spanning generations are the hallmark of this area. Denison is also one of the first 20 cities in the state of Texas to be designated a music-friendly city by the state. My name is Ann House, and I'm a singer here in the Texoma area. We're live casting from beautiful downtown Denison at the Podcast on Main studio. This is Open Mic with Ann House. We are live! Woohoo!
All right.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. My name is Ann House, and we have a full house tonight. No pun intended. Again, we are here on the square, so to speak, in downtown Denison. There's Main Street right out there, and Burnett Street right out there, directly across the way from the Chop House, the Heritage Park right over there, and what I affectionately call the fishbowl, because anybody walking by can see what we're talking about in here. To my left, I have Zane Smith.
Hello.
Hey.
How you doing?
Sadie Lee right over here.
Hey, y'all.
Chandler Ray.
Hello.
Terry Wayne Conder, which you can't see. There he is. And Peter Spence, who works with Sadie. And tonight we're going to talk a bit about songwriting. Some of us write songs, some of us don't. Some of us pick songs for specific reasons. Some of us write funny songs. My buddy Zane over here. And the process is a little bit different for all of us to do these things, but there are some similarities to it, I'm pretty sure, right? So I'm going to start with Zane because he's got some absolutely hilarious songs.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, what do you mean, uh-oh?
Okay, yeah. Okay, well,
So tell us a little bit about you.
A little bit about me. I'm from Denison.
Right.
And, I got into comedy songwriting about 30 years ago when I was in radio. I used to be a radio DJ. So I had to come up with comedy songs, comedy commercials, stuff like that. Dabbled a little bit in stand-up comedy. And continue that. I was called a guitar comedian.
Okay.
And so that's where the comedy songs come from. Before that, I did write some serious songs when I was in my teens and 20s. I wanted to be a songwriter, but when you're in teens and 20s, those songs are not that great. So, but you always want to be that great songwriter that writes, the great love song. And for that, it takes, emotion, it takes feelings, and that's why I write comedy songs.
Oh my gosh. Sadie, we had a brief conversation online in that songwriting is not a big part of your. There's an element of it certainly, right? But it's not a really big part of your. You know what? I don't know what word to call.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the word either.
Yeah. So, what do you think about? I mean, how do you approach things like that? I know what I do. I go out and I find Jonathan, and they say, "Hey, I need a song," and he says, "Okay," and one just spills right out of his head.
Well, my songs that I have released right now were already written before I'd met the people that wrote them. Mm-hmm. And I kind of just, clicked with them in a way.
With the writers, the songs, or both? Okay.
Yeah. And I just thought it would be a great idea to release them and stuff. But, I have written a bit of my own stuff. Mm-hmm. It's just not there yet, I need to work on it.
I totally know that.
I'm still kind of new with the whole songwriting thing. So.
Excuse me. I get that. Songwriting has never been a really big part of my purview either. And I spent most of my life singing other people's music, right? Having that music right there in front of me, it was creative in that I was singing, but not creative in that I was actively creating a song, right?
Yeah.
So, but I know you have.
Yes.
You're kind of like Jonathan, they just go, bleh,
well,
spill right on out.
I write and I produce, so kind of the way that I approach it is a multitude of ways. Sometimes I'll just have thoughts that come into my head or things that I see writing from other people's perspective, not just mine, you know, because a lot of my songs, you know, might not even be things that that I've experienced, but it's through other people. And so sometimes ideas will just come to me and I'll write them down, kind of like just writing poetry, and then I'll find something to go with it later. But I always keep one common rule is I always write with a click. So like, let's say it's 85 BPM. Yeah. So I always have a click when I write, so that it's easy to put into like a Logic session or something and like produce it up. So sometimes I'll just sit down and I'll come up with let's say I want to do like 85 BPM or something, or 120 BPM, and I'll get something. Yeah, you know, if you want to go at one of them up tempo country songs, you know.
Twist and shout.
Yeah.
Twist and shouts like that.
Yeah. So I'll just I'll go in and just start with something on guitar, resonator guitar, banjo, something that is really catchy.
Like banjo?
Well, a little bit.
That's a hard instrument to play.
Well, but you know, you'll just come up.
So many strings.
But there's something like. I mean, banjo's just so country, you know.
I know, right?
And I kind of do more of the modern country thing, and so I kind of combine like pop and country and rock kind of all together, just because that's what speaks to me, and I just like to write.
If that's what speaks to you, do it.
Yeah, I just like to make what makes me excited, you know, and that's just what makes me excited when it's so much fun to make, you know. And then sometimes the ideas will just come to me, and then you know, I've had times where I've like written a whole song out and spent all day making it, and then the next minute I could just get another idea to do something, and I make that song in like 2 hours and it's already ready to go.
Music like that spill out of people. I don't.
You just got to let it. You just got to let it go. You just got to. You can't restrict yourself, you know, because music is very subjective, right? Like music is very opinionated, and so what's awesome to me, like I like more modern country. I also love older country and Texas country and all this, but I really like pop country, and I like all types, and you just have to not limit, I guess, yourself when you're writing, right? You just kind of got to let it flow, and if that's what comes out of you, that's what comes out of you. You know, if you think it's cool, somebody else will too.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true. That's true.
I saw an interview with Chris Stapleton before he had got his record deal and all that. And that's what he was talking about, is when he writes a song, if it takes him more than 20 minutes, he probably just goes away with it. He just doesn't, because...
So Chris Stapleton is one of those overnight successes after 40 years, kind of like Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
Right? Because he'd been in the industry for a very long time, writing music for other people, playing for other people, not necessarily for himself.
Absolutely.
But he has that sound that I happen to like, that older country like Bocephus and that kind of thing.
But you know, he's written a lot of the pop country songs that you love too, and and that's the thing, is he's not afraid to expand himself, and just, you know, he just lets it all flow. He doesn't go back and edit. You know, it's just whatever kind of flows onto the paper is what he goes with, and that's. You know, it's also very freeing as an artist, because I think we get in our heads a lot of times too, like with, you know, you know, you're always your own worst critic type thing, right?
That is absolutely true.
Yeah. It's always the ones.
Right? Yeah, I see Terry over there nodding because...
Yeah. It's always...
We've had conversations over the last few years about some of that stuff.
It's always the song that you don't think is going to do anything that does something, and it's always the one. It's most of the time the ones you're like, man, this is gonna get a lot of streams or whatever. It never does.
Yeah.
And so,
I hear you. I mean, yes, I notice that in the songs that I perform. Now I do mostly covers, but the songs that I perform the ones I think aren't going to be the ones that everybody likes are the ones that everybody likes, right? So,
sure.
What about you, Terry?
You said a lot of things that really resonate with me. In particular, funny anecdote, I guess. I suggested writing to a metronome or to a click in a songwriting group on Facebook. It got absolutely crucified.
Really?
You mentioned that. I saw that.
It was just they were like, you don't have to know anything about music to write. You just have to be passionate. I do feel like, you know, sometimes breaking the rules is a really good thing, but you kind of have to understand the rules in order for that to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Music theory has its place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, there are certain things that are going to be pleasing to the ear, just a bunch of, garbled stuff that you can't really make sense out of. I mean, maybe there's a place for it. I haven't found that place. And I've certainly written songs that I don't like. So I mean, I know that.
Have you really?
It's very subjective. As far as like my style of songwriting, or kind of the way I do it is, I like for my music to tell a story. And I do write a lot of stuff from other people's perspective. A lot of the songs that I have, a friend of mine or somebody that I'm close to, I kind of put myself in their shoes and wrote about how I would deal with the situation they were in. Or even sometimes it's just basically, just writing what they're going through. Another thing I do a lot is I personify feelings and I personify things. So it's like if I'm feeling anger or something, sometimes I'll give that anger a name or a face and I'll sing to it, That's what
give that anger a face and sing to it. That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's kind of funny because, a lot of my music is kind of darker. A lot of it does come from, bad experiences. A lot of people write from that area, and
True.
It's kind of played out, I think, but I guess the way I mitigate that to a degree is I try to make all my songs have a triumphant ending. Like, it's always about overcoming. It's not about giving in. And I don't know if that's necessarily something that's unique or anything to me or a small group of people, but a lot of times I'll have this song and I'll just be writing it and I'll be like, man, this is getting real dark, and then that's the way I kind of resolve that. So yeah, that's really where I look. Some of my more fun songs are even have kind of a dark tinge.
Yeah, I've noticed that about your songs, but that doesn't mean they're not good,
I was
obviously.
thinking also about something you said. It's like I've got songs that I've spent years writing, and then I've got songs that I wrote 15 minutes when I was drunk. And, I think some of those short ones are the best ones. I think it's because it's coming 100% from a place of passion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of times these ones that have taken me a long time to put together, I'm just overthinking them.
Right.
Overcomplicating them.
Yeah, it happens.
There's kind of a weird enjoyment that people, you talk about like sad songs, though, there's kind of a weird enjoyment, though, that people get out of that, right? Not weird, but like, it's kind of like.
Everybody likes looking at somebody else's misery.
It's very sad, and you think, man, I just write sad stuff, but people really enjoy those sad songs. Like, you're not just going to be riding in the car just jamming out, by yourself. You're going to want to listen to something slow. And
always get me down.
Those are really the two things that I think people relate to the most. A lot of times, we struggle with, and this is what got me into writing to begin with. I wrote long before I wrote music. I mean, I've always kind of had an issue with communicating, and I was always a strong writer, even as a little kid. Like, I was writing stories and all kinds of stuff. And I grew up in a family of musicians, so eventually playing music just came natural. I learned to play the guitar just so I could play the songs that, something to the lyrics that I wrote, which I guess at that time weren't lyrics, but they became lyrics. I was a bass player. When I first started gigging,
oh yeah, that's right.
Musician, I was a bass player. I didn't start playing the guitar seriously until I was probably 20. And a lot of the first songs that got guitar parts put to them, I wrote when I was 15, 16 years old.
I think the first time I ever saw you play was with you were playing bass. Yeah.
Turtle Rat.
Yes.
That was a fun band.
Yeah. Do you write music, Peter?
I do. Yeah. I definitely
Contribute.
I definitely agree that the best songs tell a story. I think just from a nuts and bolts perspective, I think the theory is important because it gives you a roadmap, and it also gives you a map of where you can veer off the road and then bring it back. For me, the best songs have a hooky, singable chorus.
Yeah.
Right? So the hook is really where it's at for me. If it's singable, if people hear it in the car and they turn it up when they hear it and they sing along to it, that's to me that's success.
Yeah, no, I will agree with you on that. I think, especially as young people, that's the one thing, because what you hear repeated over and over again, like a chorus or a refrain, is ingrained in your head, right? There is a saying, practice makes perfect. Well, that's actually not true. Practice makes permanent. It doesn't make perfect, it makes permanent, and you will always remember something that is repeated over and over and over and over again.
Yep.
So, because this is a music podcast, we're going to have some music here. And I'm going to start with you because I want to hear the Walmart song.
You want to hear the Walmart
I want to hear the Walmart song.
Well,
Here, I'm going to move this. Well, let's move that first.
Okay.
Okay, so just so everybody knows, we're totally acoustic tonight, okay?
Okay, well, as we said, I'm also a big fan of the story songs. And those are the ones I like the best. I mean, even the serious songs I wrote are story songs. But this story actually came from the news. It's when I look for comedy songs, it's sort of like a comedian told me that the world is your setup, you make it funny. So,
Okay.
well, this story came straight from the news. This lady, this woman, they're surely sure she was human, walked into a Walmart. She was described as being bald, completely covered in tattoos, and wearing a leather bikini. And she was asked to...
of Walmart.
People of Walmart.
Say it.
And I'm not sure where this Walmart was, but that's what the story was, and they kicked her out. So apparently Walmart does have a dress code.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that. I mean, really, yeah, go into Walmart.
Maybe next time, not when I have something in my mouth.
I'm sorry about that. You go into Walmart just for a loaf of bread, you look around and say, oh my God, I'm in a Mad Max movie. But anyway, I don't know who this lady was, and I don't know anything about her, so I made this song up. It's called The Queen of Walmart. Well, they met at a beer aisle at Walmart. It was love at first sight. He was a dashing dude in a motorized cart. She caught his one good eye. He said, you're my kind of woman, all tattooed and surly. You got a shaved head like my favorite dude's curly. Didn't know about his cheating heart till that day fooled around on the Queen of Walmart. Well, she stormed in the store looking for the cheater, yelled and extremely hostile. Finally got the truth, scared it out of the greeter. Cleanup needed on the aisle. Now he'll pay for his cheating, his mistreating, and his lies. Attention shoppers, there's gonna be a fight. Just don't look her in the eye, that's what the words were supposed to be. Don't mess with the Queen of Walmart. He was flirting with a skank near the Keystone Light. Attention shoppers, there's gonna be a fight. She charged them both like a bad mad Brahma, knocking over shoppers and still wearing their pajamas. He got away in his motorized cart, fleeing for his life from the Queen of Walmart. Through the store they heard him screaming as he was scooting for his life. Just as the prices were falling, fear was on the rise. She raged through the plumbing and the hardware and the clothes, like Godzilla did to Tokyo, ripping all the aisles apart. Through the path of the wrath of the Queen of Walmart. Outside he said, hell yes, I'm free. Now Walmart witch, well, she won't catch me. That was his last words just before the clash. She said, now boy, I'm taking out the white trash. And she grabbed him from his motorized cart. No, you don't mess around with the Queen of Walmart. Out in the super center, there in the parking lot, there's a sad way to remember. You can still see a big greasy spot. It reminds of when fools just did not survive. It's over by the rack on road number 5, where they keep all the shopping carts. A reminder, don't mess with the Queen of Walmart. To this day, folks stay out of her way. It's the only way to play it smart. To avoid a bloodbath, make sure you clear the path of the wrath of the one they call the Queen of Walmart. They met at a beer aisle at Walmart. It was love at first sight.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
I've been kicked out of Walmart 3 times.
You've been
You've
kicked
been
out 3
kicked out of
times?
Walmart?
Once I was barefoot. I lost my shoes at the creek. I went in to buy new ones. You have to have shoes to buy shoes. I got kicked out once for riding a tricycle electronics section. And
How
I got
old
kicked
were
out
you?
Once because I went and got like 2 or 3 caution wet floor signs, and I put them in front of a display rack that had 50 Shades of Grey on it.
Oh, Terry. How old were you when you rode the tricycle through the Walmart? 23. Yep. That sounds about right. Our own Terry Wayne Conder got thrown out of Walmart 3 times. That, in and of itself, is a feat. What?
You can't hear him.
No, we need to be able to hear him better.
So if you would, when he's talking, just slap him with the mic.
Yeah, we can do that.
Swing over there and let him have a mouth.
Should I move over there a little bit closer?
Yeah. if you
Couldn't
want
hurt,
to.
if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah.
For some reason, we
I kind of thought about that.
Would you like to
One of those
go over?
voices that projects.
Yeah. If you want
Some
to come
people
over
are
there, you
responsible
can.
that way, Terry.
It might make it a little easier. We can hear you better too.
Sure.
Because you brought him, so he gets to play.
Yep.
And I don't mean play. I mean he gets to participate like all the other kitties.
We can be close.
Yeah.
We can be close.
Seemed like a good enough guy. I just got off work, so I'll probably smell a little funny, so I'm hoping that doesn't bother you.
Oh, you're all right. All good.
You work in a gym.
I work in a still fab facility.
See? You know what? Guys smell. Sometimes good, sometimes don't. They
You
just
just gotta
don't.
spray some Axe on. I'm joking.
Oh my
I
God.
know, I knew
There's
that
Axe only does so much. Let me tell you. Sadie, is there something that resonated with you particularly? A song that you picked. So tell us about that song and then
Well, I think we're gonna play What Sadie Wants. So
see, now that title right there just says it all. Pull the microphone a little closer.
All right. Can you hear me better?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I
What
heard the
Sadie
song.
Wants. That
Yeah.
sounds interesting.
I heard the song. I had a gig. It was like a Toys for Tots thing down at Smoke Monkey in, I forget where it was at. It was pretty far though. Somewhere over there.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those.
Yeah, and so I had Chad Rowland. He was playing guitar for me, and this is the first time we had ever met. I went over to his house and we practiced before, our gig.
As you do.
And he was like, I really want to pitch you a few songs. I was like, right here, right now? Like, you barely know me. I mean, all right. So he started singing, 3 to 5 songs maybe that day. And I really liked radio, and I really liked What Sadie Wants. And it definitely it feels very me. It's about, I'm very boy crazy.
Are you now?
So just any guy I see, I'm just like, it's my
All right,
husband.
guys. Y'all been warned.
I'm old enough to be her dad.
I'm old enough to be your granddad, so.
And so it's kind of about just having a crush on, any guy and every guy, but kind of making sure that I'm saving myself for that one guy. You know what I mean?
I do, actually.
Just, yeah.
Girl to girl kind of thing. Yes,
Yeah.
I get it.
That's pretty much what the entire song is about.
Well, let's hear it.
All right, ready?
Now, you've released this song, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Oh, I already like it.
Orange County, CA. Every day is like a brand new crush. And if he looks my way, well, he can look, but he better not touch. 'Cause I'm saving it all for you, sweet baby. A little honey on your biscuits and gravy. Tick tock, don't stop, dance me right out of the shoes. I'll cock a doodle doodle for you, my little rooster. You got that something that a girl can't get used to. Not now, no how. That's what your mama says. What Sadie wants, Sadie's gonna get. Like waves upon the ocean, I got a notion. It's just a matter of time. If you run to Laguna, I'll catch you like a tuna. I'm gonna make you all mine, all mine. You got me on the Geo. I don't know how to stop this train. Let's play some tic-tac-toe. I'll cross the X's right out of your brain. 'Cause I'm saving it all for you, sweet cheater. Throw a quarter inside my pocket meter. Smack down, uptown, strolling on the avenue. Rocking a pink carnation in a coffee-colored jacket. You got me hopping like some wild bunny rabbit. Not now, no how, that's what your mama says. What Sadie wants, Sadie's gonna get. 'Cause I'm saving it all for you, sweet baby. A little honey on your biscuits and gravy. Tick tock, don't stop, dance me right out of your shoes. I'll cock-a-doodle-doodle for you, my little rooster. Got that something that a girl can't get used to. Not now, no how, that's what my daddy says. What Sadie wants, Sadie's gonna get. What Sadie wants, Sadie's gonna get.
Whoa.
Very nice. I like
Whoa.
it.
You released that?
Yes.
That was so good.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh, what a voice.
It's great. I love it. And I remember that Boy Crazy stage. I remember my Boy Crazy stage when I was probably, 15, 16. And my daughter, oh my God, that was fun going through. So I suspect, sir, that you're going to have to pick up your guitar.
Yeah, I didn't know if we were going to be singing today, but I
told you bring your guitar.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, my bad.
You're
Mind
bad.
if I borrow yours since we're close buddies today?
Go right ahead.
I appreciate
Terry,
that. Look at
thank
this
you
guy,
very
man.
much.
Thank
You're
you
so sweet.
much. Wow, what a nice guitar, man. Thank you.
So, what are you going to play?
Shoot.
What and why is it one that you picked for this particular songwriting thought process?
Well, I'll do a Christmas song that I wrote because I want to play it as much as I can before it becomes not cool, in February or March. But
Right.
Is this a half step down or is this standard? Okay, I just want to make sure. It's a nice guitar, man. So I'll do a Christmas song that I wrote for you guys called "Christmas, My Dear," and I just really wanted to come out with the Christmas song, and this was one of those where I just kind of played something and then wrote to it and recorded at the house and got it all done in the same day.
So you wrote the music and then added
Yes.
lyrics to it after that because
yeah,
for me it would be because I don't like Sadie, I don't play anything. I
Yeah.
snag lyrics from my spouse because he writes poetry like it's going out of style.
right.
Or something that I do, and then I have to struggle to find music. I have to struggle to find the music part to add to it. So
Well, yeah, I wanted to get in the Christmas vibe, and so I added jingle bells and all that stuff
there
in
you
it,
go.
and I just kind of wrote to that, and it was a first for me because writing a Christmas song is different than writing a country love song or something.
why do you
what I
say
mean?
that? What
Just
makes it different?
well, actually, I guess this is not that much different because I didn't want to just do a stereotypical like dashing through the snow. I wanted to do like something that told like a love story, kind of like a country song would, but kind of
Okay.
just in a Christmas
With a
way.
Christmas setting, so
Yeah.
to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that accurate? Okay. All right, let's hear
All
it.
right, let's try it. I lay my head down and Snow is falling harder than ever outside, and I think of you like I always do. And Christmas presents underneath our family tree. All that's missing is you and me, together the way it should be. Don't you think we should be together this Christmas time, my dear? Full of love, laughter, joy, and cheer under the mistletoe. Don't you know you're the only gift from old Saint Nick that I put on my short Christmas list? Holding each other close by the fireplace with the only love that I can't replace. Heard her voice on the other end of the line. I know it's late and I've called a million times, but I just miss you, and that's the truth. We don't have to get into another fight. This Christmas we can hold each other tight by the fireplace. What do you think? We should be together this Christmas time, my dear. Full of love, laughter, joy, and cheer under the mistletoe. Don't you know you're the only gift from old Saint Nick that I put on my short Christmas list? Holding each other close by the fireplace with the only love that I can't replace. Babe, it's cold outside and I'm coming home to the one that I love the most, but I just can't tell you this over the phone. We should be together this Christmas time, my dear. Full of love, laughter, joy, and cheer under the mistletoe. Don't you know you're the only gift from old Saint Nick that I put on my short Christmas list? Holding each other close by the fireplace with the only love that I can't replace. I appreciate that, guys. Thank y'all.
Very nice.
I was a little nervous.
Why?
Did you not hear these performances over here? That was, y'all did great. I loved y'all's stuff.
Well, thanks. And
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely. I'm going to become a fan of everybody in here after this is done. I'm going to have to go on Spotify and add some new music.
everybody has a different style, right? I
Yeah.
know my style is different than pretty much all of y'all's. Well, maybe not. Pretty close, right? But I still have
this.
I still have a different style because, well, a lot of the music that I do is a lot older, and so there's that. And then I used to, many years ago when the world was young and dinosaurs roamed the earth, I had this nice high bright soprano voice. Not anymore. All right, Terry, what you got? Huh?
I love your voice.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I guess going back to how I talked about sometimes I would write things from other people's perspective. This particular song is about a guy who was a good friend of mine, actually a cousin of mine, who was in love with a girl who was married to somebody else. And it was a very abusive and volatile relationship. And my cousin, he always kind of felt guilty because he thought if he told her how he felt, maybe she wouldn't have been in that relationship and maybe not gone down the road that she went down.
Right.
This song, incidentally, is my younger daughter's favorite song, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
She's 16 years old, so for her to like anything that I like is pretty cool. But for it to be something that I wrote, I think is pretty special. But this is called Brave. Sleeve up a little.
I was hearing that clicky sound there.
I did not come prepared today. I apologize.
I've never had someone else's pain hurt me so badly, baby. Never saw a sad look so beautiful. Every tear like a diamond fell, more precious than rain in hell. Oh baby, I should have caught them all. I was good at showing up too late, too little, hurry up and wait. Did I find you already lost? I saw him lay his dirty hands on you. I watched you slip into drug abuse. Should've told you that I loved you all along. I watched you slip away. I wasn't brave enough to give you all you needed from me. I made you go it alone. Give anything to change it now, baby. I just wanted you to know. Every time I needed you, no matter what you were going through, baby, you were there every time I called. You always tried to build me up when it all got way too rough. No way in hell would you let me fall. You had to save me 1,000 times and be my shelter from the falling sky. You're my dream, you're my song, baby, you were my rock. I couldn't help it when I fell in love. How could I just caged it up? If it's too late now, then it's all my fault. And I watch you slip away. I wasn't brave enough to give you what you needed from me. And I made you go it alone. Give anything to change it now, baby. I just wanted you to know that I watch you slip away. I wasn't brave enough to give you what you needed from me. And I made you go it alone. Give anything to change it now, baby. I just wanted you to know. I never had someone else's pain hurt me so badly, baby. Never saw a sad look so beautiful.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you all.
I want to clap for that because the song is great, but the content just, it breaks your heart. It really does.
I love how real that sounded. Like how that
Yeah.
little, just just your voice, man.
Appreciate that. Yeah, my girl, she's a guitar player, and she plays guitar a little bit. She plays ukulele. She's got a beautiful singing voice. But I'm trying to get her. My kids live in southeast Kansas. I try to go up there at least once, twice a month to spend the weekend with them. Yeah. And I'm trying to get her to come down here and record that with me.
Oh, that would be great.
Really cool.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? Man, I would love to hear that. Yeah. Do you sing, Peter?
I do.
Doesn't matter. You're here.
Okay, well.
I like Sadie, but you're here.
All right. Let's see what to do.
Something that really speaks to you about this songwriting process.
All right, I got that.
I saw the light a little too late in the day. Drove through the night, fighting just to stay away. That was my exit, maybe I just missed the signs. Bound to be a wreck when you're crossing that center line. Maybe the time has come for me to turn and run. I got 300 miles to decide to back it up or just keep on driving. I feel the end is just out of sight. This is our last free exit sign. I fell from grace and lost my place in your eyes. Going 90 to nothing, cutting me down to size. I learned my lesson a little bit harder this time, and I left you guessing the end of the storyline. So maybe the time has come for me to turn and run. I got 300 miles to decide to back it up or just keep on driving. I feel the end is just out of sight. This is our last free exit sign. And those ghosts, they don't disappear. They're all smoke in the rearview mirror. For us, it's the end of the line, and I'm taking what's yours. Now give me what's mine.
Very nice. I was particularly touched by the phrase, I fell from grace. That was, I don't know, there was something about that just kind of said something. I don't know. There's a police car down the road. I see the flashy lights, so if it comes speeding down Main Street, buddy.
Not here.
I know, right?
I think that was the first time I've ever heard you actually sing.
Really?
I've only heard him sing backups for me. So I've only ever heard you sing backups for me. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
It was very good.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things about this podcast is that we're all here to raise everybody up.
Yeah.
And you can't do that without listening to everybody. You can't do that without, being able to appreciate what everybody has. So, yeah, maybe I would have loved to have had my accompanist here, but he's at home right now, and I have one single original song, and it's actually was written by Jonathan Van Huss. He's just
Oh yeah.
oh God, he's such a kick-ass writer.
Yeah,
singer.
he said he was going to send me some stuff.
Good.
He's
You should do whatever he sends you, do.
Well, he said that's his real passion is writing.
It is. He wrote one. It's called Reason to Run Away. And we're 2/3 of the way finished with it. It'll come out at the end of February. And it's just, yeah, there's our Jonathan right there.
Yeah. Where are you recording that at?
This is going to sound really bad.
Why?
Sonic Sound Solution over in Sherman.
Oh, is that another? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I look, I love recording here. I really and truly do. But I also like recording with, his name is Sean Fussell. He is a really good guy, and as a matter of fact, will be on the program next week.
Oh, okay.
Next week, yeah, next week.
Sean's actually the guy that's producing my stuff.
Oh, really?
And
Back on this guitar for me too.
yeah, he is a kick-ass kind of guy. As a matter of fact, next week it will be Sean and Chris and
Battle of the Behemoths.
Dustin Hendricks out of War Room Studios in Blue. So we're going to have all three of them in talking about production. And
Oh man, that's gonna be awesome.
That's going to be an awesome. Not that this is not. Trust me, this is great. Anyways, the song is about a friend of his that he lost to domestic violence, which kind of goes hand in hand with the one that you. And he very, very graciously is going to allow me to put that out, like I said, at the end of February.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's a really good song. Yes, there's War Room Studios. I was out there earlier this year. I guess it was April or May, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Every production studio has their pluses and minuses, right?
Yeah.
Like here, Chris has some of, he's just got ideas out the yin yang. They're like my husband's poetry. They just kind of spill out everywhere.
Right.
But he's also very busy. And he's really, really good at what he does. Sean is one of those people who is really very, very, very good at artist development. And I haven't had an opportunity to talk with Dustin, but maybe once or twice. So I need to go out there and find out what his forte is. But every place has their forte, just like every singer has their, the place where the high note sounds, where their sweet spot is, where every guitarist has their.
Don't point at me, I'm not a guitarist.
Like, damn good guitarist. And he's got his place with comedic songs, so everybody's got their own place for something, right?
But I think, are you trying to say like different producers can kind of
they draw something
bring
different
something out of you?
Yeah, they draw something different out of the artist, right?
Yeah. That's one thing we were talking about at Kickbacks a couple weeks ago. If you remember, I was talking about how I produce my own stuff, but the benefit of, and there's benefits to that, but there's benefits to going to a studio and working with producers that are obviously would be better, and maybe just have more ideas to bring to the table. And
well, they're also objective, right? They're not.
You're right.
They're not. I hear what's going on in my own head.
Yeah.
Right? But somebody else who's listening to me from the outside can make a suggestion to make the song better, right? So.
Yep. 100%.
I originally recorded a version of Crazy, Patsy Cline's Crazy, here. And Chris came up with a twist, very small one, but was just enough to kind of top everything off. Patsy Cline goes down, I go up, it's just a slightly different way of doing things, but it gave it a better feel to me, and that's the way I perform it now, to this day, every time I do it. So
that's the cool thing about hearing cover songs and stuff is hearing people's rendition of it, you know, and hearing somebody else's voice. That's a lot of original artists on the streaming platforms now. You'll go to their profiles, and a lot of their top songs are covers. You know, because it's recognizable, but also it's cool because it's like a different take of a song that's already popular.
So I was two things on that one. First one, the last song that I put out, the only song I've got out on Spotify is a cover of Jolene, which I'm pretty good at. I enjoy that song. It's a lot of fun. It's something I grew up with. It's really kind of cool.
Yeah.
What bugged the heck out of me is that Lil Nas did a rendition of it, and I'm like, really? Really? That's a country song. And no. But the other part of that, though, is that today people want something, as much as any other day, they want something that they recognize to sing along with when they're listening to live music. So there's a place for originals. There's a place for covers. And if you're not mixing the two, you're losing a really big portion of your audience. Again, my humble opinion, you, me, fence post, that kind of thing. But I think that's one of the reasons that covers are appealing to me, because I make a little change here and there, and my voice sounds different than somebody else's voice doing that same song, and so that gives it a different. I love my husband.
Anyway, I was going to remind you not to let everybody forget to plug their
I haven't forgotten that.
Because you got 10 minutes.
I know that. Everybody's going to be playing somewhere this weekend. Are you going to be playing somewhere this weekend?
Probably not, no.
Probably not. Why not?
That's a good question.
Yes? And we don't have an answer for that.
We don't have an answer for that, no.
Okay, I was afraid of that. Where are you playing this weekend?
We will be at the Gar Hole on Friday.
Oh, that's right. I saw that. Okay, cool.
From 8 to 11. And then on Saturday, we're going to be at the Brass Top in Crossroads.
That's over on Preston Road going
off
through...
380.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, all right, cool. So that's off Preston Road going through... What is it at that point? Is it Salina?
I don't even know. I didn't drive. I just did my makeup when we were there, so don't ask me.
No, I get it.
The Gar Hole. That seems like a really fun place.
It is a fun place.
No, I've never been.
And you live in Anna.
Huh?
You live in Anna.
Yeah.
You've never been there.
I've never
Crazy.
been.
One of the
You need to
coolest
go.
venues I've ever played in 30 years of doing this.
Oh, yeah. No kidding.
My dad, he always says he wants to go up there and stuff. But
Go.
That place is great.
Yeah.
It has a reputation as being a very music intensive venue. Right?
It seems like it.
But it looks like a little hole in the wall.
It does.
It does.
Yeah.
And it's like about the only thing that's on that square.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, that's cool. And it used to be a
bank.
Yeah.
Bonnie and
Really?
Clyde
Because
robbed it.
that's right. And they still have the safe.
Mm-hmm.
They still have the safe door in there.
It used to be a bank?
Uh-huh.
That place
The
was a
building.
bank?
Yeah.
Yep.
Many, many years ago.
Really?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Well, I'll have to go check you guys out then.
You got to go.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really cool. Where are you playing this weekend?
I am not going to be playing this weekend. I am going to be producing and making up new songs.
Okay.
I just
cool.
got back from. I played a lot of shows. I kind of feel like I
saw
should.
a lot of posts from Nashville.
Yeah, I played a lot. I went out with my dad and my aunt and uncle and my other uncle, and we all went up there. And I played a bunch on like Broadway. I played some writers' rounds and stuff. And I played all week, and by the last day, I was like, you know, in your voice, you're like,
Yes,
oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna
do.
make it through the next, gig. That's
do.
kind of how I
Been
was.
there, done that.
And so I was like, I need some throat coat
Yeah.
pronto.
Oh,
And,
no kidding.
And then when I came back, I played. Where did I play at? I don't even remember. I played somewhere here, and then Frisco Music Center. Frisco
Okay,
Music
all
Center.
right.
Played Frisco Music Center. And I was like, all right, I need to rest my voice, but I really have that after coming back from Nashville, I was very inspired. So I have all these ideas I've been jotting down on my phone.
I look forward to hearing from
and
about
I'm gonna go check you guys out on Friday for sure.
Cool.
And
so where are you playing, Terry?
Yes,
I'm actually not playing this weekend.
Okay.
I'm going to the studio Thursday.
Going over to Fussels?
Work on the next one.
Yeah.
And then the 20th, I am playing at the Whiskey Tower in Tanglewood.
I got this weekend.
You're there this weekend?
I am there. I am at the Whiskey Tower on Friday. That's 8 to 11. Then that's out at Tanglewood Resort in Pottsboro. And then Saturday, I'm at Best Burger Barn from 6:30 to 9:30.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever played either one of those venues before?
I did an open mic with Jared Whitley at Tanglewood.
Yeah.
Up in the Whiskey Tower. I haven't done anything down in the lounge, which I feel like I would prefer better. But you know what? I'm going to take what I can get up there.
I played the lounge for New Year's. It was pretty cool. I like the
neat.
tower. I think that's a little bit more my speed.
Yeah.
You know, the lounge is very much a lounge. I mean, it's a cool place. It's a real cool place. But I think my particular performance goes over a little bit better in the tower.
I'm not really sure how mine's going to go over because it's got all those windows and everything. All the sound's going to bounce off.
The sound is. I mean,
it's pretty cool.
It's surprisingly. I mean, I carry my PA's in my Explorer. I carry it with me everywhere I go. But I mean, I've got that thing dialed in pretty well. But I mean, that room with all the glass and stuff, it's surprisingly a good room.
So the Whiskey Tower has like 10-foot glass windows. It's like being in this room almost all the way around. Really? So the sound, just bounces off of everything.
You just got to make sure you point your speakers towards the bar.
Yeah, and it's always full. I mean, there's people galore. I mean, just. It's sick.
It's literally a tower.
It is. And they have a tower that goes up,
8 floors, and
too.
you play on the 8th floor. There's a whiskey bar up there, and then you can go up above that. There's an observation deck where you can look at the lake and smoke cigars and really drink your whiskey. It's pretty cool.
I'll put you in touch with Shelley if you want.
Okay, yeah. That sounds
I mean, if you're interested too, Sadie, I will more than glad to forward her information over to you.
For sure.
I like Shelley. She loses her keys though.
Shelley's awesome. They're always looking for, and they have more than one. They've got the tower, they've got the lounge. During the summer, they got the little tiki bar area out there by the pool.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I think there's one other little venue that they have there. It's a big resort. I mean,
it is.
It's pretty cool. It's a real nice place.
And they'll let you stay there for free on that
They take
night.
good care of you.
Yeah, that's a part of the.
I don't tell Shelley this, but the only reason I play there is for the free hotel room. No, it's a really fun place to play. Really, and it's a pretty cool crowd. You know, you got a lot of people coming off the lake. They're usually pretty drunk by the time they get there. It's a good time.
It's interesting that all of us are in an industry, well, except for Zane. Hey. Are in an industry where we get to sit and watch drunk people.
You know what? I talked to a guy. Speaking of that,
this is going to be a story.
I was talking to a guy that does music full time. He's a bass player, and so he just goes around and like on call type thing. Yeah. And his name's Jamie, and he told me, he said, I always keep a part-time job on the side as well, even though he doesn't need it. And I was like, oh, why do you do that? And he goes, well, because. And just the way he told me was awesome. He was just like, well, you know, when you play for drunk people all the time and that's all you're surrounded with, he goes, you get a little weird once you're just like around intoxicated people all the time. And that's a good point. I mean,
it is a good point. It is a good point. I mean, I have a lot of friends who are musicians, but who are also recovering alcoholics, which means they don't drink. So they deliberately put themselves in a situation where they're around alcohol all the time because they love the music so much that they're still dealing with drunk people. We were at 1880 the other night, and there was a man who probably had a little bit more than was good for him, and he was carrying on a conversation with pretty much everybody. It was,
I feel like musicians are all a little bit weird to begin with. I feel like songwriters might even be a little bit more weird to begin with, and then we habitually put ourselves in situations that are just going to wear on our normality. And I kind of feel like we dig ourselves a hole.
We do.
We're just a weird bunch. But, I mean, we're a weird bunch who
does some pretty great stuff.
There's a lot of love in this weirdness,
there
you know.
is. There really is. I have enjoyed having all of you tonight. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it so very much. This has been really wonderful. I love listening to all of you guys. This is just great.
It's nice to meet all y'all. I know all your names. You know?
Yeah, I know, right?
But it's good to finally meet you.
It's good to put a face with a name. I can't talk today.
That's the coolest part about the music thing is making friends and the community and, you know, aspect of it.
It's really weird that I get to be friends with people who are less than half my age. Seriously, it's an interesting kind of thing, and you get to be friends with somebody who's twice your age without looking at them like they're your mother.
That's right. That's right.
So it just makes it so much cooler. And it really does.
And what's awesome about you, Ann, is that you're very supportive of local musicians and things, because, you know, you have to surround yourself with really good people to do the music thing, because you can easily get sucked into, you know, the jealousy thing or people being hateful towards you because maybe you're doing something they're not. And, you know, I used to surround myself with people like that because that's all I knew when I first started a couple years ago. And I quickly learned that you have to, you know, get those people out. You don't have to be, you know, rude.
Don't have to be rude.
And just totally block them, but, you know, just keep them at a distance type thing, and surround yourself with people that are very, you know, supportive, because there's enough to go around, and we can only help each other. It's, you know.
Help lift everybody.
Yeah, because
That's the reason.
You'll go to everybody's. I mean, you know, I don't just listen to one artist, or I don't just go to one artist concert, or I just don't whatever, you know, and so you have to keep that perspective of we all really need to be supportive of each other and help each other, and, you know, be the person you would want to be. Like, show up to people's, you know, shows when you're not playing a show, and support them.
And if I wasn't working this weekend, I might come out to the Gar Hole. It's been a long time since I've been out there.
You know, that's one thing that I really love about Denison in particular is, you know, with a town like this that itself is very supportive of, you know, the local music scene. It's really fostered a sense of community among musicians, because I moved to Texas in 2016 for a really stupid reason, and 4 years later that left me with basically no friends and stuck down here with a mortgage and a bunch of people I didn't know. And over the last 2 or 3 years, I've really developed a lot of friendships, and 80% of the people that I know are musicians. So I'm really become immersed in this community, and it's a really awesome community. We're very supportive of each other, and that's what's so cool is, you know, I'm used to being in, you know, professional situations where it's all about competition and, you know, being better than the next guy. And around here, it just seems like everybody's more about making each other better, because what's good for me is good for you, is good for the music community as a whole. So,
and on a final note, I would like to remind everybody that Terry has is it a GoFundMe for your video?
No, I was looking for donations. I'm putting together it's a video shoot basically. I was just looking for some help. It's on my Facebook page. It's Cash App. I mean, it's
Cash App. Okay, so y'all remember that, because Terry is putting together a video with local videographers.
There's a local videographer, and then there's a venue in Valley View. It's a listening room, basically. Wade Jennings was out there a few weeks ago. Like, they're starting to get some traction in that area, but nobody in Texas knows about them.
So here's the thing.
I'm trying to kind of bring a little bit of the spotlight onto that venue.
This is how we lift everybody else up. This is how we lift our friends up and how we help everybody. If we make that listening room a worthy venue, we'll all eventually get to play there. So help support all the support staff that we have to have as musicians, like videographers. And this is going to sound really stupid. Makeup people to do your makeup for you, because I'm not very good at it. People do your hair for you, because I can't reach all of mine. You know, things like that. People who take pictures, like some of the pictures that I had done recently that were just absolutely spectacular and almost don't even look like me. All that support staff is necessary too. So
there's a lot of art in this area that doesn't have anything to do with music.
Yes, there is.
There's no reason why we can't support them and they can't support us just because our medium is different. You know?
You got it. All right. Thank you again. I really appreciate your time. Y'all mean, you know, Fort Worth. That's a trek, man.
Down the street.
Yeah. All I did was come down the street. So you guys have a great evening. Y'all be safe going home. I hope that everything works out well for you in your music lives. Stay in touch. And there's a finale that we're going to do at about the 20th of February. So if you have time, come. Awesome. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
From Wichita Falls to Paris, from Atoka, Oklahoma to the Dallas area, Texoma has a thriving music scene. Revolving around country rock and blues, the singer-songwriters of the Texoma area reach into the outlying geographic enclaves here and there around the country. It's a scene of music that is defined more by geography than it is a sound and encompasses all the facets of the music scene on either side of the border. Denison, Texas is the hub of this music region, and it's music-friendly in so many ways. Long-standing tradition and musical family spanning generations are the hallmark of this area. Denison is also one of the first 20 cities in the state of Texas to be designated a music-friendly city by the state. My name is Ann House, and I'm a singer here in the Texoma area. We're live casting from beautiful downtown Denison at the Podcast on Main studio. This is Open Mic with Ann House.